Now what will it be? Death or exile?
Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of the TV Exiles. This week, we are continuing our look at HBO's new series, Watchmen. As a reminder, we will be covering each episode with a few more spoilers as we discuss the growing narrative. So, let's get into episode 3. Let's start with the official synopsis from HBO. Following a late-night visit from the senator who authored mask policing legislation in Oklahoma, FBI agent Lori Blake heads to Tulsa to take over the recent murder investigation. Far away, the lord of the estate draws unwelcomed attention. I will reiterate my question from the last 2 weeks. Is this Watchmen? Other than a few moments throughout the earlier episodes, I was having trouble really getting the feel that I was watching a continuation of the original story. I'm happy to say that with the third episode, this is finally starting to feel like Watchmen. There is definitely an old school meets new school vibe that just makes everything click for me. The episode brings in Lori Blake, known to most Watchmen fans as Silk Spectre. Only now, she's an FBI agent that hunts masked vigilantes. She is brought into the fold by Senator Keene to assist in the investigation that has unfolded in previous episodes. With that, Jean Smart is really quite excellent as Lori. She carries herself in a way that reminds you she was once a masked hero herself, but now has a no bullshit mentality. Her dry humor and sarcasm really shine through, and you are reminded at times that her father was the comedian. Her one-way conversation with Dr. Manhattan is great, with her long-form joke playing over the whole episode and dropping great nods without ever really needing to name the characters. She is obviously still enamored by Dr. Manhattan and also feels his abandonment. And let's get this out of the way now. She carries around a giant blue Dr. Manhattan dildo, because apparently, once you go blue, you're through. Also, the story with Jeremy Irons is starting to pick up steam, as we are finally told what we already knew anyway, that he is Adrian Veidt, aka Ozymandias. It is hard to know exactly what's going on, but I definitely think we are being misled by the showrunners. He appears to be trying to escape his current location, but strangely seems to be trying to do so by going into space. I'm personally wondering if he is even on Earth, or is he maybe on Mars. The castle shown on Mars during episode 1 looks very familiar to the one that Veidt is staying at, but only time will tell on that one. From a technical standpoint, the show continues to look very nice. We are finally starting to see some visual changes with strange architecture, some being familiar like the Washington Monument, but with very subtle changes. As seems to be the case every week, the score from Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross is excellent. I also finally feel the music is starting to come together with what's happening on the show. I was hoping this would finally happen, as I have loved the score thus far. I can't wait to be able to listen to the entirety of it. And finally, let's talk about Easter eggs, and of course, what may not be Easter eggs at all. I have many that really stood out to me this episode, and definitely made me grin. First being Lori owning a pet owl, in reference to her relationship with Night Owl, but in the same scene, it's also revealed that Daniel Dreiberg himself is in prison. Another favorite would be Lori quoting the comedian at the end of her joke with, "Good joke, everybody laughs, roll on snare drum, curtains," the famous line from Rorschach. Lastly, a quick egg being the motel that Lori is staying at in Tulsa is named Black Freighter, in an obvious reference to the parts of the book and segments from the Ultimate Edition of the film. In closing, I am relieved the show is finally starting to pick up the pace, and also starting to feel more like Watchmen. This episode felt like it had the hook that the first episode should have had, but I'm intrigued by the clashing of the new story with the return of more familiar characters and elements from the book. I am now excited to see what is in store in the coming weeks. And until next time, stay exiled.